Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Lulu at You Retreat, and I'm here to tell you all about my molecular hydrogen journey. So in the last video, I talked about the first month, my first 4 weeks of using molecular hydrogen, and this next video is about my next 4 months. So here I go. So in the 5th week, what I found was, okay, I've always suffered with restless leg. So within the first 2 days of the 5th week, I started noticing I wasn't getting restless leg. I was actually trying to eat things as well that brought on the restless leg, and I wasn't getting it. So, I wasn't convinced that it was completely gone, but by the end of the week, I hadn't had restless leg since. So I was super excited about that. And in my last video, I talked about that pain in my side, and I was still, that was still, almost gone. It's still there, but it's not, I know it's going to be gone because I could tell by what's going on with my scans. What else? Oh, so what I also have is a ionic foot bath, which is on my website. You can read about that as well on my website, which is Anewyouretreat.ca. And that will tell you about the ionic foot bath. So when I did a foot bath, I noticed a lot of dark green coming out, heavy metals, things like that. So that was really big because when I was doing foot baths before, I wasn't getting such a big detox. And this shows like cellular debris coming from my gallbladder, mostly I found, and from my joints as well. So what else? Yeah, oh, and my lymphatic system. I also started noticing that my lymphatic system started showing up in my detox foot bath, and that hasn't showed up ever. And I've been using a foot detox for about 30 years now, so I was quite happy about that. And then, okay, so now week 6. Week 6, I started doing a thing where you can get on a machine. It's called a T-zone, and it vibrates. So I started using that as just an added therapy for exercise because I wasn't being able to get out with my dog and walk as much. So I started using that. So that is something that I've added in, and I'm using that about probably 3 times a week as well. So I'm still seeing a lot of improvements with my skin and elasticity and my aging spots and things like that. But one of the biggest things that I really noticed was my brain fog, my memory. I have had tests done because I had I call it a brain injury. They call it PTSD, but I had all the signs of a concussion. So they said that I would not ever get better from 17% recollection to be able to recall things. So now I'm starting to be able to remember things, and the confusion and the brain fog, that's all starting to dissipate. So I'm getting better and better every day. My brain is showing much better on my scans as well. So I'm super excited about that. Lost a lot less stress and confusion I'm finding as well. I did travel during this time, and usually the travel really takes a lot out of me, and I felt I could cope a lot better. I'm able to start staying up later. Before, I was usually in bed around, like, I say in bed, but not being able to participate anymore after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. After 2 o'clock, I had to shut down. I had to now rest for the rest of the day because my brain wouldn't be able to take any more on. It would basically just not work anymore. So it was one of those where it's like, oh, now I have to just sit and do nothing, whether that's meditate, watch TV, but basically not be thinking and trying to learn things, which that's what I've been doing, is trying to learn things, and I can comprehend and I can retain things a lot better. So another super exciting thing. about molecular hydrogen that I'm so amazed about, because they said that I would never get better. Yeah, so that is week 6. So now we're going into week 7. In week 7, I started noticing I have longer and stronger nails, and also the pain in my right side is still, I'm not having any um, bad episodes or anything like that. It's still just barely there. What else? Still the urination only once per night. One of the biggest things I noticed was I had root canals done when I was 12 years old, and they told me that the black in my gums that I saw my whole life, I would never be able to get rid of, because it was the metal that they had put into my teeth. The color of it, you could see through my gums, and they said it's because my gums were super thin. I went to see a specialist. They kept saying there was anything I could do about it. Well, now because of me the hydration, that's one thing I did forget to say. The hydration in about the second week was huge. That's what I felt like I'd gained weight because I was hydrated. I'd never been hydrated in my life. And that's what I believe in my gums was, that it's repaired that thinness of my gums through being hydrated. So it's plumped them up so you can't see through my gums anymore. So that was the biggest takeaway from week 7. What else on week 7? One thing that happened in week 7 was when I blew my nose and stuff like that, the mucus in my nose was a lot crustier and harder, and there was actually dried blood. I hadn't had a bloody nose or anything like that, so I know that something was going on. Sometimes you just have no answers for what's going on. All I know is that my body is detoxing, it's repairing, and I'm just documenting what I see. So I think that's it for week 7. So week 8, the one thing that I noticed was my lips. The color of my lips, I'd started to get color in my lips again. They had kind of lost color, and they seemed like they were getting more full again. So don't know what that was about. It was just noticeable. My body seems more in balance as well. You know, I just felt like I wasn't getting any, with my age and everything like that. I am 56 and I have gone through the change already, but I was the odd time getting more or less, I call them niacin flushes. I don't, this whole hot flash thing. I didn't really suffer through that because I did a raw diet at the time. So I don't really understand that. All I understand is sometimes it's an emotional thing will trigger some kind of hot flash type thing. And food triggers it as well. But I did notice that I there just wasn't any of that really going on, any hot flash type stuff. I was sleeping 6 to 7 hours of sleep, which, I've always been insomniac type person, but I was getting better sleeps, and like 6 to 7 hours to me really doesn't seem a lot, but even if I felt tired from the detox, I was always motivated. I could still carry on doing a full 8 to 10 hour day, no problem, not having any headaches from my brain, being exhausted or anything like that. So I really started noticing that a lot. I did get a detox that week as well. Something else was detoxing because I got back into that crusty feeling on my face again. And I did a foot detox as well, and it was super, super dark. And I hadn't done a foot detox, I would say, in about 3 weeks or something like that. So I was really surprised to see how very, very dark it is. I noticed that my foot detoxes, usually when I used to do them, I'd do them every other day, and I never have seen such darkness coming out of them. So I know that my body is detoxing. So I think, other than the fact that I'm in a very busy environment the last, I would say, month, and for me not to have all of these headaches, for me not to have meltdowns because of the stress and everything going on around me, that is huge for me because I've had this for 6 years, and I am just completely blown away by how much I have healed and repaired. So I'm super excited for the next few months. And then I'll let you know in the next month what my next results are going to be. So I hope you enjoyed my video. And if you have any other questions about it, go to my Anewyouretreat.ca. There's lots of information on there. There's also studies, things like that. There's videos that I've posted on my website as well that can explain what else is going on. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.